Hello everyone, welcome back to the MySQL complete course. I hope you all are doing absolutely fantastic. In the previous lecture, we covered the foundation of SQL. We learned what a database is, the difference between relational and non-relational databases, how to create a database, create tables, insert records, SQL data types, keys and constants. If you haven't watched that lecture yet, I highly recommend watching it first because today's session builds directly on those concepts. Now imagine you are working in a company where the employee database has 50,000 records. Means you have 50,000 records in that database. Whenever your manager asks show me employees from, you have to show the employees from Mumbai. Then will you display all 50,000 records? Definitely, its answer is not. Or suppose your teacher asks, show only student who scored above 90. Means you have to just show whose score is above 90. Again, you don't need the complete table. You only need specific information. That's exactly what SQL helps us to do. Today's lecture is all about retrieving only the data we actually need. By the end of this session, you will know how to filter data, sort it, limit the results, and even perform calculations on thousands of records with just a few SQL commands. So without wasting any time, let's open MySQL Workbench. Now we are inside MySQL Workbench. I am using the same database that we are created in the previous lecture. If you are joining directly from this video, don't worry, let's create our sample table first. You have to write this code, use what's the database name, that is your college, colon and run. You can see we are inside the database college. So first of all you have to create a table. I am writing here create table. I am creating here table by the name of student, then bracket. First of all you have to go with your ID, then its data type, that is your integer, and I am defining it as primary key, comma, after that second column, that is your name, its data type, that is your varchar, its constant value, comma, next is your city, varchar, I am defining its constant value as 30, marks, in I am taking here marks in the form of integer data type, then age also in integer. That's it. You have to just run it with control and enter. You can see your table is created. If you want to check the table is created or not, you have to just write down here command show tables, or you can see you have to just write down the query over here show tables. You can see my student table is created over here. You have to insert all the values inside the table. Then there is a query over here, insert into the table name student, then all the column name inside over here. Then the column names are like, first of all is your ID, then name, then city, then marks, and the last one is your age, like this. Then you have to write down here values, and after this you have to just write down all the values inside the table. One is your ID, then name Rahul, comma, city like Delhi, marks 89, and age 20. In the similar way you can create all the other 7 values. I am taking here table of at least 7 rows. After creating the table, just execute it. I am executing this table. That's it. Now if you want to verify the data, then you have to write down the query over here, select star from table name, that is your student, then semicolon and run. You can see all the values are executed perfectly in my table. Throughout this lecture, we will use this table for our SQL query. So let's start the topic. First topic is your where clause. What is your first topic? Where clause, CLAUSE. Now the where clause is very most important SQL concept. Suppose I am writing here select star from student. What happens? SQL displays every record from the table. But what if I only want students from Delhi? Should SQL display Mumbai and Pune students? Of course not. This is where the where clause comes into the picture. Think of where as a filter. Whenever you shop online, you filter products by brand, price, color, rating. Similarly, SQL filters database records. The general syntax for the SQL is, you have to just write down here, select a column name from where? From table name. Then you have to apply here where your condition, then in then semicolon. This is the whole syntax for your where clause. In this way you can use the where clause. Very simple. Let's execute our first query. Select star from student where city is equals to, I am displaying the city here as Delhi. Now execute. Now observe the output carefully. Only Delhi students are displayed: Rahul, Aman, Neha. The remaining students disappear. Why? Because SQL checks every row individually. If the condition is true, it displays that row. If the condition is false, it ignores it. This is exactly how the where clause works. Let's take another example. Suppose I only want students whose marks are greater than 90. Then you have to write down the query as this: select star from student where marks is greater than 90. Then run. Notice that only students scoring above 90 are displayed. SQL didn't modify the table, it simply filtered the output. This is an important point where never changes data. It only filters what it displayed. One more example. Let's take the last example of where clause, and after that we will go with the next topic. So I am taking here select star from student, student student. So I want to display students younger than 20. Then you have to just write down here where age is less than 20 or age is less than 20. Then you have to just simply run it. You can see only matching records are returned. So this is your where clause. So next topic is your comparison operator. Means how you can perform the comparison operator in where clause. Now let's understand the operator we can use inside the where clause. The first category is called comparison operator. These operator compare the values. The most common ones are is equals to, not is equals to, less than equal to, greater than equal to. So these all how you can perform. You have to just simply select star from table name student. Then you have to apply here where, which column you want to perform, on which column you want to perform the operation. That name will be over here. Let's suppose I am defining here age is greater than equal to 30, like this. Then it will only displays the output whose age is greater than and also equals to 30. You can see there is no value, so that's why it's not giving me. If we are having like equation like this 25, then it will give me no value, because in the previous, when we are using this, then you can see all the ages are between 20, 19, 21, 20, means under 22. So if you want to perform, then you have to just write down here the command like 21. You can see it's showing me all the values that are greater than and equal to 21. There are only 3 values over here: Aman, Rohit and Arjun. So in this way you can use any operator over here. Now the next is your logical operators. Now let's make our queries even smarter. Suppose I want students from Delhi who scored more than 80 marks. Now there are 2 conditions. That's where logical operator comes in. First is your AND operator, and the second one is your OR operator, and the last one is your NOT operator. So what does AND means? AND means both conditions must be true. Means then like this, let's take an example. Select star from student where city is equals to Delhi. Now and marks is greater than 80. Now run. So SQL asks 2 questions. Is the student from Delhi and did the student score above 80 marks? If both the answer are yes, display the record. Otherwise, ignore it. Think of AND like a double security gate. Both gates must be open. So you can see only the 2 values are here, Rahul and Neha, whose city is Delhi and scoring marks greater than 80. So next is your OR operator. Now suppose I don't care whether the student belongs to Delhi or Mumbai. Either city is acceptable. So I am writing here select star from student where city is equals to Delhi or city is equals to Mumbai. I am writing here 2 conditions. Like first is your city is equals to Delhi and the second one is city is equals to Mumbai. Now SQL displays both Delhi and Mumbai students. Only one condition needs to be true. You can see the maximum of the values are displayed in the output 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8. 4 and 7 is not over here. So next is your NOT operator. Suppose I don't want Pune students. Then you have to write down here select star from student where not city is equals to Pune, then semicolon, and you can see run. Every Pune student disappear, not simply reverse the condition. What's the main purpose of not? Not just simply reverse the condition, means if the condition is true, then it will convert that, or you can say reverse that true condition into false. Next is your between. Now imagine your teacher asks, show me students who scored between 80 and 95 marks. You could write like this: marks is greater than equal to 80 and marks is less than equal to 95, like this. But SQL provides a cleaner solution. So what's the solution for this? Then you can see over here. So I am writing here select star from student where marks between, where marks is between 80 and 95, and semicolon and run. Between includes both values, that means 80 and 95 are included. It's much cleaner and easier to read. Next is your in operator. Suppose I need student from Delhi, Mumbai and Pune. Instead of writing city is equals to Pune, city is equals to Delhi or city is equals to Mumbai, use in operator over there. How you can use? you have to just write down select star from student where city in. I'm just taking here two cities. First one is your Delhi and the second one is your Pune. P-U-N-E, Pune. Then run. You can see much shorter, much more professional. Whenever multiple values are involved, in is usually the better choice. So this is your where clause. Next is your limit clause. Now let's learn another useful clause. Sometimes we don't need every record. Suppose I only want to see the first three students. So SQL provides the limit clause like this: select star from student. What's the limit? Limit is 3 and semicolon and run. Only the first three rows are displayed. This is extremely useful when working with large tables, or you can say very large tables. For example, if a table contains 1 million records, displaying everything would take time. Using limit lets you preview just a small number of rows while testing your queries. So this is your limit clause. So next one is your order by clause. So right now our record are displayed in the order they are inserted. But what if we want to sort them? Suppose we want students arranged according to their marks. That's where order by comes in. If you want with the ascending order, then you can go with the ascending order query like this: select star from student order by marks, column name. Whether you want in a ascending order or in a descending order. First we are going with the ascending order, then you have to just write down here ASC. If you are not writing ASC, then it will be by default in ascending order. You can see all the values are in ascending order. Then if you want the output in descending order, then you have to just write down the same thing, but instead of ASC you have to write down here DESC. That is your descending order. So after this order by clause, the next function is your aggregate functions. So until now every query returned rows, but SQL can only return calculated values. These are called aggregate functions. They perform calculations on group of records and return a single result. The 5 most common aggregate functions are count, comma, sum, comma, average, comma, maximum, comma, minimum. These are the 5 common aggregate functions. Let's see each one by one. So let's start with the count. Select count, star is for the select all from student, and it will display you the count of all the students. What is the count? 8. Next is your maximum. Then you have to just write down here select maximum of marks. You want to just display out the maximum marks out of the students from student. Then run. The maximum marks is 97. If you want the lowest marks to just write down, instead of maximum, then you have to write here minimum. Then you can see the minimum marks is 65. If you want the sum of the marks, then you have to just write down, instead of min or maximum, then you have to just write down sum. Then it will display you the sum of all the marks. If you want the average, then instead of sum, you have to just write down average. That will display the average of the marks. So these functions summarize data instead of listing every row, making them extremely useful for reports and dashboards. Alright everyone, we have learned how to retrieve data, filter, record, sort them and perform calculations. Let's move to the another very important concept. Suppose your principal asks you a question: how many students are there in each city? Will count alone solve this? No, because count gives us the total number of students. But here we need separate count for Delhi, Mumbai, Pune and every other city. That's exactly where group by comes into the picture. So the next topic is your group by clause. What is group by clause? Let's understand it with a real life example. Imagine you are a class teacher. You ask every student to stand according to their city. All Delhi students stand together, Mumbai students stand together, Pune students stand together. Now counting becomes very easy. This is exactly what the group by clause do. It first creates groups, then perform calculations on each group. The syntax is very simple, like this: select column name, comma, aggregate function. From where? From table name. Table name. That's it. Then you have to apply here group by. Group by according to which column? Then write down here column name. That's it. When you are using the aggregate function, you have to apply the column name inside the aggregate function. Column name, like this. So this is the basic syntax for group by clause. So let's try it. I am writing here select city, comma, count star, like this. From where? From student. Now I am applying here group by. Group by according to which column? City. Semicolon and run. Now look at the output. Instead of one total count, SQL gives us something like Delhi 3 students, Mumbai 3, Pune 2. Amazing, isn't it? SQL automatically groups identical values. So let's take the another example over here. Select city, comma, maximum of marks. From where? From student, student, student. I am grouping here group by according to which column? City. Semicolon and execute. Now notice carefully. SQL finds highest marks in Delhi, that is 97, then in Mumbai 95 and in Pune, that is 92. This is something impossible with a simple maximum function, because maximum aggregate function alone returns only one value. Group by breaks the table into smaller groups, then SQL performs the calculation separately for each group. If you want average marks city wise, then let's perform that thing also. Select city, average of marks. From where? From student, group by according to city, then semicolon and run. Select OK, comma. You can see this is one of the most common interview question. Companies frequently ask candidate to write group by queries, so make sure you understand this concept thoroughly. Common mistakes many beginners write: select city, comma, name, comma, average marks from student, group by like city. Just see over here how the students are perform such type of mistake, common mistakes over there, like this. Select city, they will take more than one columns over here. City, like name, then they are taking the aggregate function over here, like average of marks from student, 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 then group by according to city, then run. You can see this is incorrect because name is neither grouped nor aggregated. You can see over here the error is over here. When you are using group by, every selected column must either be included in the group by clause or be wrapped inside an aggregate function such as count, average, sum, minimum or maximum. Keep this rule in mind when you write grouped queries.
Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more content.